Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Move to Premium. I'm your host, Aaron Walters, and in this particular episode, we're going to go over some interesting updates to the rules. Well, not really updates, but we're going to go over a few flaws in the game that we noticed that we wanted to address and definitely make changes on. And of course, if you're wondering, we always want to make improvements and adjustments to UFTA. After I die, I want the future generations to make whatever improvements or adjustments they can determine on their own to better suit their lifetimes, social circumstances, or life circumstances that they find themselves in. Adapt and tweak the rules as they see fit. To handle whatever major problems come their way, right? Okay, so one particular problem I noticed, or I think my dad pointed this out. God bless him. He noticed that there's an issue with the timing when it comes to drawing things out of the bag, right? And so we kind of want to look at that here. If you'll notice, for instance, I have broccoli. That's in the 8th spot. And so let's say I planted my broccoli. I disked, planted, I paid the money. Well, what I can't do is, see now I have gaps in my weight cube tray. If I grab something out of the bag, let's say, happen to grab something desirable from the bag, right? Because all I'm doing is fulfilling the 6 crop minimum weight cube rule. I grab something out of the bag, it's desirable, it's across from the broccoli and radishes, or from the broccoli, which means it's going to be a 2 crop combo, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to flip this other field over, and we're saying, oh, I want to plant the radishes too. Right? Well, what that does is it happens to violate another rule in the game, which states that you can only do one type of action each turn. You're allotted 2 actions on productive farm rolls, that's true, but if you're going to do any action at all, you can only perform that action once, right? And so, since I had already planted broccoli, even though I'm grabbing from the bag and I changed my mind, I can't actually plant the radishes again. Okay, so that's something you you need to bear in mind. A planting, it's a timing issue basically. You can't replant something else, and similarly you can't disc, or you can't cultivate, and you can't harvest any of those essential equipment item actions. They're one and done's. So, all right, so that clears that up. The other major rule stipulation is regarding the UFTA Fast or the UFTA Light version, which I don't have a separate set of rules yet for. But if it ever does retail, the idea is in Fast UFTA, you have an opportunity to draw crops just like this, like normal. Well, what you can't do is you can't on your turn, let's say you've rolled a dice, you've rolled a 6, and you're like, ooh, I want to be productive. Well, what you can't do is you can't draw a crop first, look at it from the bag, and then, because somehow you've managed to memorize the order in the fields where everything's at, you can't flip the field up subsequent to picking this crop out of the bag. Okay, so that's a rule violation. For the obvious fact that, if you could do that, then you could simply score every time. You would know exactly where to plant. And that provides an unfair advantage over your competitors. So, anyway, okay, so that's the rule updates that I have for you in this particular session. I'm still, as far as updating the progress of UFTA as a potential retail product, I'm also going to be in talks with the bank to see if I could take out a loan. Take out a personal loan for financing just to cover the costs of print publishing, right? I was hoping some of the other tactics and strategies that I've employed would bear some more fruit than they have. But so far, the affiliate marketing hasn't proven very successful. So, I mean, I'm not going to drop it, but I do hope that turns into a means for paying for the potential publication, right? So, bearing that in mind, as always, you can make comments, leave comments below the videos, and you can also check out these affiliate marketing links through Amazon. If you're feeling like you need a particular product, right? Almost everything that I've listed there includes items that are game related. They're family and game related items that you might find useful around the house, or something that you run out of, or something that you might find entirely useful as you sit down to play with your family and friends. Okay, so I think we're just going to go ahead and get started. Happy Mother's Day to everyone, of course, and I hope everyone's having a nice spring. As far as the COVID goes, I found out I don't particularly have it, but I'm due to get it. I know that's going to happen soon because even despite taking some unusual measures to try to, I haven't been to funerals, I haven't been to weddings, I haven't been in crowds, that's for sure. It's a little bit of social isolation. So, but I've been in therapy to try to get over some things. And, I think it's working on the whole. But there's still quite a bit of frustration just on the financial end of things. I can't figure out why some of these tactics and strategies aren't working. But life is uncertain, right? There's risks involved. I'm not a huge risk taker. I don't typically. When it comes to money, I don't have that in me to take giant financial risks. I think it's the consequence of doing something dramatic and losing a bunch of money is far too great compared to the benefit of scoring big, right? To me, the downside outweighs the upside. So maybe I'm confused or wrong in my thinking on that level, or in that particular subject. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so anyway, in the meantime, we've got this wonderful setup here. We're going to play a little bit of UFTA, and of course, if any new topics or new issues arise, we'll address them. All right. So come and enjoy the ride, my friend. In case you're wondering, it took about, I would say, a good 5 years to develop completely the game mechanism of UFTA. So, this is like your giant Broadway show or your movie script that's been sitting there for 10 years, right? This is the UFTA. This is the creative project that's been in the offing for a long time. It's just got to find the right home. It's got to find the right people to take care of it financially, and see it through to fruition. Okay, so here's a gamble. I'm not gonna gamble. Nope. There's a 1. Alright. So, what are we gonna do with this one? I always like starting out a new game because it helps me think about fresh opportunities. If you happen to be attached to the agricultural world, you'll know that there tends to be a monopoly with the Bayer Monsanto's company. They kind of make it difficult for farmers to, try to replant their seeds because of capitalistic pressures to make money. I mean, if you're ever wondering, like, why does my farmer make these certain decisions? Some of them don't look that great on the outside. Well, it's simply because of the financial pressures. Capitalism. You have to make more money than you spend. You have to be. You have to somehow juggle all these different concerns over people, over the environment, over providing, food and safe, healthy food products. It's a long list of categories, a long list of just various tasks and duties that not everybody is willing to embrace. Okay, so anyway, it's a little bit of my diatribe. So I'm not, even though I'm featuring an organic farming game, I'm not espousing the virtues and benefits of organic versus conventional farming. But there is a definite, if you want to bring up the problems of race, we can do that here. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has a history of not allowing giant loans to be taken out by our minority groups, especially like black farmers, right? You never see a black farmer, and we're trying to question, like, why is that? And of course, if you live in the U.S., we have, terrible race relations. There's really no way around it. Because this should have, farming should be an avenue that anyone can take. They just need to do a little bit of research, but you do need, it's like any other major business, you need a lot of capital up front, a lot of investment up front with the hopes and expectations of seeing a return on investment later down the road. And not that everybody can make large financial risks. I really can't. I'm going to approach a bank to try to make this happen, but UFTA is like a product that it's hard to gauge the demand of, right? It's hard to gauge demand, especially with new items that show up. So, anyway, I'm going to do one. 5 is productive. Okay, we got potatoes. 1, 2, 3. Here's the 2. This grower over here they've got cucumbers and potatoes. They want to, the coolest thing about UFTA is you can always learn. It's just like living life. You can learn from experience and failures and regrets, what mistakes not to make, or if you can help it. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to leverage our position and degrade someone else's. So that's what we're doing. We're moving the cucumbers up, potatoes moving down, right? Okay. There's the 2. Move these up. We're not ready for adversity cards yet. We're still in the safe zone. Here's an interesting tactic by grower number 3. Notice that they have potatoes, and so does grower number 2. And so it's a wonderful tactic to grow the same thing as someone else, because you can assure yourself of mutual interests, right? You can rest assured they're going to want to bring their item into harvest, and they don't want any harm to befall them. So that means no harm is going to befall you either. Okay, so here we go. I think we're ready now. Beans up. I guess we're going to go one more round. Potatoes are fine where they're at. Beans now. So if you're wondering, like, does this game cause too much stress or something? Or will this harm relationships among your friends and family? Well, I don't think so, because for one thing, UFTA isn't a cooperative game. You know, like if you played, what is it? Not Cards Against Humanity, but the very other popular board game. Pandemic. Not to be ironic, but yeah, Pandemic is a game that features cooperation. Well, UFTA also features a shared goal. If you want to play with friends who are not particularly competitive, or they don't want to be combative, they just want to get along and be friends and have fun, UFTA definitely accommodates those desires. Because you can work towards a shared goal, feeding the most people as possible. Thank you, farmers, by the way. And any food service workers. We're grateful. Okay, so that being said, we like potatoes where they're at, so we'll move the beans further down. They've traveled quite a bit. Cucumbers, here's the cucumber. One thing you might also notice with your farmer friends is that they're very much tied to the land and what they're doing. Like, they're totally invested. So, you'll notice that they can't respond to market forces, especially global market forces, with any amount of speed. Right? They can't simply change their mind and start growing something else. That has to be planned ahead with a lot of thinking, a lot of strategizing. Gonna keep carrots, we're gonna get rid of them. Now, as you begin to play advanced UFTA, this is UFTA Premium. You'll notice in the advanced stages that your market manipulation really matters. You really kind of want to keep track of every move that everyone makes. You're going to need to bring more focus and concentration in order to completely comprehend the game, so that you're always making the best decisions that you can. Right? UFTA is just basically a long series of decisions required by all the growers, and you want to try to position yourself as best you can every time. Maximize your potential. There we have 6. Cultivated grains. Potatoes, we've got 11. Five is productive. Potatoes on the wrong one is 12. course, the gambling feature in UFTA, it kind of speaks to the fact that in real life, of course, we don't have guarantees, we don't have certainty. All we have are statistics and probabilities and possibilities. And so that leaves us in a position where we need to kind of be wary of the math involved, and the science, and everything else. Okay, so here's 4. Some kale, we got cucumbers, we got corn, we got carrots. So here's a new fascinating study that I read about science. A new study by scientists. They apparently discovered that plants emit some sort of a beacon, or basically they transmit some sort of a signal when harvest happens, whenever they're being plucked, right? And so, you may have some diehard vegan and vegetarian friends, and that's great that they're principled and stand up for what they believe in, but the truth and reality is, you have to eat as a human being. You're part of this planet. You're no different than any of the other creatures. We really want to think we're special. But, everything that's alive tends to have a tendency to use up energy and need to consume food. And that food is typically animal or vegetable in nature. And there's no getting around it, okay? You could take, the Christian point of view is that, let's say Jesus suffers for everybody else, right? That's the old line. And well, the modern line is animals suffer so that we may live, okay? And plants. And so you have to kind of get over that. And there's a lot of people who don't like that. We're militant about some things that are, essential facts of nature. This reminds me a little bit of Charlotte's Web. If you haven't read that classic children's book. The injustice of the runt being slaughtered, or being about to be slaughtered. From the kid's point of view, of course, everything is an injustice. But, when you grow up and you realize the realities of your choices are starving to death or having this animal chopped up and prepared for you. You'll choose the latter. You won't choose the luxurious path. Maybe the more moral or ethical path. That's just a fact of nature. It's reality. Oh, look at this. 10 tokens. Lady Luck shines over on party number 2. Okay, here's a gamble. I'm not gonna gamble. So if you're ever wondering, my frustration is UFTA is an egalitarian game meant for everyone on the planet. That's why I'm broadcasting it to YouTube. All peoples everywhere are welcome to play. And of course, I want to adjust. I want to address some of the, the inherent biases and, dare I say, racist problems. Because I should be surrounded by black families, brown families, white families, families of all types. Yet I find myself here sitting alone doing this. And, the entire world should be represented here. And I don't know why, I don't know what the particular objection might be. I haven't figured that out. But anyway, UFTA is a gift for everyone in the world. Maybe not everyone accepts it. But we can't all be lion tamers, we can't all be basketball scholars, right? I love basketball. I like sports just as much as the next bloke, right? But, you reach a certain age. The athletic days are over. What are you going to do? You got another 20, 30, 40 years left, right? And so, what are you going to do? And so, my answer is to develop and play Luca and try to get it to as many people on the planet. Try to popularize and promote the game, and if it finds the right people to back it up, the right sponsors, then I will die a happy man. I will die satisfied that plenty of people got a chance to play the game, because spreading the love and joy of UFTA is what it's all about, right? So yeah, let me know if you're ever interested. This is my legacy. 4 is production. Cultivate harvest carrots. Gambling's not. Yeah, gambling's. And we'll just. Okay, so we got 10 tokens here, we got 5 back, we got 15 in the cup, 2. Basically, it's a problem of, you know, a black man can't get a loan. And, you know, you have to ask yourself, this is 2024, why is that? You know, that shouldn't be. And we have this, you know, we have this problem where we have a culture of funds that are kind of predatory based on poverty, right? Poverty class. I don't know what to call it. It's a poverty businesses. They're in the business of keeping you poor. That's why it's so hard to turn down the tobacco and the liquor and the other stuff that's meant to distract you from the fact that you're kind of being snookered. Right? Payday loans, right? Predatory lending. Okay, so here's. Anyway, I would much rather you play UFTA with me and, you know, or bring your wife, your family, or your girlfriend, or whatever. I would much rather play that than, you know, be in the trench somewhere, getting shot at or getting droned on, right? What I don't understand is we have thousands of years of human history, and we haven't eliminated war. Like, well, what's the deal? We have plenty of history to go over, right? And yet, here we are. Wealth imbalances in the extreme, wealthy class evades taxes, does everything to evade taxes. Infrastructure falls apart. Collapse of the American Empire. It's a vacuum that fills it. Right? It's going to be somebody, you know, you don't know who's. It's just like a succession of emperors. You don't know who the next emperor is going to be, whether they're going to be a douchebag. You know, how many years did humanity have of nobility, right? Nobility trying to hide the fact that they had birth defects, so they married their cousins or what have you, and they weren't fit to be part of the monarchy. Anyway, alright, so it got really dark. But I think that's going to do it for this session of UFTA. I don't think I have any new further innovation, which is good, because I really want UFTA to be kind of crowd-funded, with many eyes looking at it, studying it, and giving me feedback as to whether or not it's going in the right direction, what the flaws are, where we can improve, things like that. And despite having thousands of conversations with people online, I don't always get the quality comments and feedback, which is the lifeblood of a product, right? You depend on customer satisfaction. Know how you're doing. How's my oofda? Anyway. Alright, we're going to leave it there. So anyway, if you make money in this world, pay your taxes and help your brother out. The invitation to play oofda is open every day. There's nothing I'd rather do than play everyone on the planet and achieve the goal of mass publication someday. So, with that in mind, until I see you next time, keep on playing oofda. Have a good day. Adios, everyone.